As a dating coach for the last 20 years, I've heard just about every possible excuse for not getting girls. I'm too old, I'm too short, I'm too fat, I'm whatever ethnicity, I have bad skin, I don't have enough money, whatever it is, I have absolutely heard it. And I'm here to tell you, if you have any of these, if this is you, if this is your excuse, there is a solution for you to get girls. However, I do want to also warn you that this video is going to get rid of your excuse. So if you really want to hang on to your excuse, if you'd rather have your excuse than have the girls, leave right now, okay? But if you actually want to solve this, stick with me. I'm going to show you how to solve each and every one of these, as well as many, many more. So before we get into each of these particular issues, let me tell you some of my issues. I am 5'7", I have pasty white skin, I am slightly overweight, and I had acne for a good chunk of my life. Meanwhile, I have dated and slept with hotter girls than you probably could possibly imagine. I've also had 20 years of coaching guys, and whatever your sticking point is, whatever your issue is psychologically, I promise I've had a guy who has it worse than you who succeeded. The reason I tell you this is that I know that when I tell you that your insecurities are in your own head, or when I tell you a way past it, the first thing you're gonna think is, oh, you're just saying that, or oh, that's true, but not for me, my situation's different. I promise you, it's not different. But let's go through these insecurities one by one. So if you are short, fair enough. There are girls out there that like short guys. There are girls out there, a big chunk of girls, that really don't care if you're short, right? And I have seen and I have known guys shorter than you who have gotten results. If you are overweight, I have seen guys that are more overweight than you would imagine actually get girls, all right? I absolutely have seen it. It happens. I've also seen, and we'll get to this in the next section, I've also seen overweight guys not be overweight after a period of time, because this is something fixable. If you are of a particular ethnicity, I promise you I have seen people of your ethnicity get girls. I've seen white guys, black guys, Hispanic guys, Indian guys, Asian guys. What other races are there? I don't know. Whatever race you are, I have seen that race get girls in crazy amounts. And you know what? There are even girls who fetishize people of your race or ethnicity, I promise you. There are some girls who will love you for it. There are most girls who won't care, and there are a few who probably won't like you for it. And that's the case for whatever you are. That's the case if you are white, black, Mexican, if you were green. If you had green skin, there would be girls that are into it and find it kinky and girls that are turned off by it. It doesn't matter, okay? Whatever you are, some girls are into it, some girls are not. What about if you are old? Well, oh yeah, I'm also 40. Right? I'm also 40 and I sleep with girls half my age all the time, okay? Not a big deal. In fact, a lot of girls actually like older guys. A lot of girls find them more worldly, more experienced. They look up to them, they find them as mentors. It's very, very common that younger girls like older guys. And again, like with everything, there's some girls that are gonna really like it, a lot of girls don't care, and then some girls will find it a turnoff. And that's how it is with every single category. What if you don't have any money? Well, I went through a lot of my life not having money. When I was in college, I had no money. I was broke, dirt poor, but I still met girls. A lot of my coaches, when they were learning to be coaches, when they were learning game, when they were coming up through the ranks, they did not have a lot of money, and they pulled girls left, right, and center. All right, you can do it. It can be done. Okay, bald, fine. Well, if you're bald, please do something so that it's not like a shoehorn with some weird shit going on. Right? Maybe shave it off, or maybe come up with a good look that works for whatever stage of balding you are. But then guess what? I've seen guys in every stage of balding do amazing with girls. It is not an impediment, all right? And again, you can shave your head, because shaved is a look, whereas balding is not. What about some other ones? What if you just have a bad life situation? What if you work too much? What if you're working hard in school and don't have time? What if you live at home with your parents? Well, guess what? I've seen guys with all of these things make it work. I've seen guys make time. I've seen guys like date girls on their lunch break. I've seen guys who live with their parents go to the girl's house to date girls. I've seen guys pull to their cars. I've seen crazy stuff, okay? Every single one of these is surmountable. And by the way, those last three, live with your parents, work a lot, school a lot, those are all fixable too. Those are all things where you have a choice to change your lifestyle somewhat, or you have a way out at least over time. So not only can you manage it now, but also, again, it is totally fixable. What if you are a virgin and inexperienced and just never been good with girls because you just have, you don't even know where to start? Well, here's the thing. Every single person who's ever been laid was once a virgin also, right? We were once all there. So get over it. You're not special. We've all been there. Every single man on this planet was born a virgin. So that's my little lecture about whatever excuse you have. But let's get practical. A lot of these excuses are somewhat fixable, to the extent they even need to be fixed. Again, they're not really that big of a problem, but if you do want to fix them, you can. If you are out of shape, get in the gym. Now, that's not going to help you talk to a girl today, because you're still going to be just as overweight today, as you are, right? But 6 months from now or a year from now, it can make a dramatic difference. And in the meantime, don't make it an excuse. So many guys do this thing of, oh, I'm going to wait to talk to girls until I'm in shape. No, no, no. There are two things that you're working on, getting in shape and being better with women. Okay, work on them simultaneously because one, you can already get girls when you are overweight. And two, I think you will find, as many of my students have, that you do the work to get in shape and you still have insecurities around girls. You're still nervous, you still don't know what to do. And it actually wasn't as much about being in shape as you thought it was. So by all means, work on getting in shape. But in the meantime, don't let that be an excuse. Don't put off meeting girls in the meantime. Again, so many guys I get in boot camp did exactly that. They're like, I want to get everything right in my life, and then I'll go talk to girls. They get everything right in their life. 10 years later, now they're finally talking to girls instead of starting 10 years earlier. Do not be that person. But yes, if you're overweight, it's fixable. And also, don't just do it for girls. Do it for your own health, please. Absolutely. Oh, by the way, if you're super skinny and you're envying the person who's overweight, you can fix that too, all right? Same thing. Don't let it be an insecurity now. Work on it while you work on women and get in the gym, start lifting some heavy objects. Not too bad. Also, acne. Okay, I was right there with you. Throughout high school and college, I had bad acne also, all right? And what did I do? I took a pill for it. I got it cleared up. Also, since then, I've eaten a healthy diet. If I don't eat a healthy diet, I get a little bit of acne. If I eat a healthy diet, it's pretty damn clear. There are things you can do for this. And yes, you may object, taking a pill is unhealthy, whatever, but you just have to weigh it, right? If acne is truly debilitating your social life and truly hurting your life, taking a pill to get it cleared up is probably worth it. But it's really up to you. And if it's not that big of a deal to you, certainly don't use it as an excuse. Let's add another insecurity here. What if you think you are uncool, boring, have bad style, right? If you've never gotten it, if you've never been one of the cool kids, well, guess what? You can fix that, right? Number one, watch the stuff on my channel because I was a former unpopular, uncool kid who made myself one of the cool kids. And that's what game has done for me. But also fixing your style makes a dramatic impact, right? If you go from dressing poorly to dressing well, you can increase your appearance by at least a few points as a guy. And by the way, even if you don't have an insecurity about your style, you probably could fix your style and increase your appearance, right? So I don't want to give you a style insecurity here, but it is something so easy to work on that makes such a dramatic impact. Imagine if every single girl gave you a 25% better response right on hello. That does make a difference. This is in fact so important that sometimes on boot camps, I'll even go take the guys shopping during the day game session because some guys, they really need the help. But what if you're like, you know what, Todd? I think you're full of shit and also I don't like your advice. You say, you know what? I'm not even gonna go work on my sticking point. And also, I don't believe you that you've had another guy with my sticking point get success. If you just wanna completely disbelieve me, if you wanna completely hate on me, by all means, feel free. But here's the thing, even if that's the case, you're in whatever situation you're in. Whatever your situation is, that's your situation. And you know what? Every guy has a situation. Okay, you're short, but you're doing okay financially. Some other guy's tall and poor. He has his insecurity, you have your insecurity. You both are wishing to trade places with the other one. How ironic is that? Or you're a particular ethnicity, somebody else has acne. You both wish you could switch places. You're like, damn it, if I could just be his ethnicity. And you're like, if I could just have clear skin. Everybody has their sticking point. Everybody has their hang up. It's fine. You know what you do? You live with it. You play the game to the best of your ability. Okay, the metaphor I use for this a lot is one of sports, all right? Let's say you are a soccer team, all right, or football for those of you in Europe. Now you have your strengths and your weaknesses, and you're gonna show up for a game. Let's say you are a third division team playing against a top division team, and you are the underdog. Do you just like give up before you go take the field? No, you don't. You go out there, you realize you're the underdog, you strategize to play the cards you're dealt. You play a defensive counter-attacking game in the case of soccer, and you try and win the best you can. And you know what? Every now and again, a third division team upsets a top division team. Do you know why? Because they didn't just throw in the towel, they actually came out and played the game. And they realized their situation, and they catered to it, okay? So if you are a particular ethnicity, and you think that's a problem, which again, it's not, it's just a difference, but if you think that's a problem, cater to it. If you're an ethnicity that has a stereotype of being mild-mannered, well then be less mild-mannered in your game. If you're an ethnicity that has a stereotype of being dangerous, then add more comfort to your game. If you're short and you think that girls won't take you seriously, get in the gym and get really fit so that you are a physical specimen for your height. If you don't have a lot of money, adopt a persona where you have other things of value in your life and other things you're doing besides money. And you don't play the game of trying to show how rich you are. You play the game of trying to show how cool you are, how artistic you are, how fun you are, something else. So play on a playing field that's actually helpful to you. Most importantly, though, show up to play. Do not throw in the towel at moment one, okay? Because regardless of wherever you're at, and regardless of whatever you think you deserve in life, who cares about what you think you deserve? What is it that you want? You want success. So do the behavior that, for whatever restrictions you think you may have, is most likely to get you success. And for everybody, that is approaching women, conveying your best personality, trying to close. And if you are short and fat and ugly and bald and boring, you may close a lower percentage than a guy who's the opposite of all those things. Okay, fine. But you're still going to go out there and you can still close some. And if you approach enough hot girls and you do your best work and you do all the right steps, you will still end up with a hot girlfriend. And again, how do I know this? Well, I know my own personal history. I know the history of guys I've had show up for boot camp and the guys I've had come out of boot camp. And I promise, whatever hang up you have, even if you have multiple hang ups, I have seen guys succeed with it. But you know what I've never seen? I've never seen the guy who has the hang up and uses an excuse to stay at home and not talk to any girls. I've never seen that guy get girls. That is the biggest thing. That's the one thing that actually will stop you from getting girls, is using your excuse as an excuse and preventing action. Also, do not underestimate the power of game. I have seen over and over again on boot camp, a guy comes in on Friday with exactly the position he's in life and socially and financially and physically and all that kind of stuff. And he's exactly the same by Sunday. Maybe he's improved his style a little bit if I helped him in that particular area. And all of a sudden, he's gone from no results to crushing it in 3 days. What did he change? Simply game. Or take me, for example. When I was younger, I was healthier, fitter. I probably had, in some ways, more prospects. And I was certainly more what society would approve of. But you know what? As I've gotten older every single year, and I've gotten better game, even as I've gotten out of shape, even as, I'm starting to slightly bald, all those kind of things, my results get better and better and better. Why? Because my game gets better. So don't underestimate that as a factor to mitigate a lot of all these other factors as well. So Todd, you may say to me, this whole game thing, I think is bullshit. I don't think it works. I think you're just saying that because you teach game. Well, you can think that if you want. If you want to continue not getting results, you can continue to think that. But I will explain to you how and why game works. Here's a couple things. Number one, girls don't respond to exactly the same things that you do. You very much respond to physical appearance because biologically, when you are looking to have a child with a girl, you want a healthy vessel for that child in order to give birth. Because in the evolutionary environment, a lot of births ended in death to either the woman or the child or both. So that is a huge biological priority for you. Not so much for women. Your contribution to a child is different. Your contribution evolutionarily to a child is a lot more in terms of what you can bring in terms of resources to the child. So your social connections, your social feedback, your competence in life, those kind of things are much more what you're being judged and evaluated upon. And here's what game does. Game simulates being a high value guy in all those categories. So when a woman sees you, she's not seeing everything about you. She's seeing particular categories, particular triggers that are going to tell her, quite honestly, whether you're the type of guy she wants to sleep with or the type of guy she doesn't want to sleep with. So when women meet you, they're not seeing everything about you. They're not viewing you holistically. They are seeing very particular kind of almost check boxes that they're looking for the type of guy they want. And what you're doing with game is you are actually hitting those check boxes in an incredibly efficient way. Put it this way. The girl is not responding to everything of who you are. She's responding of what you're conveying to her. So regardless of what's right with you or what's wrong with you, she can only respond to what's being conveyed. So if you have a perfect life and awful game, you're conveying awful. If you have an awful life and perfect game, you're conveying at least a lot better than your imperfect life. To kind of wrap this all up, talking about insecurities, talking about game, etc., I want to wrap up with a quote from a man named Voltaire. He said, "Give me 10 minutes to talk away my ugliness and I will bed the Queen of France." That is the beauty of game, and that is the mentality of someone who is good at game. Maybe certain girls will initially reject you, or maybe even just give you an initial shit test off of something that's perceived to be an issue. But if you have good game, you can turn it around, and the longer you spend in their presence, the more they are going to like you. And that's what fundamentally is going to get you results. Last but not least, If you're really having trouble with inner game, or if you liked even one nugget of the information in this video, I have an entire course for you that you're going to absolutely love. It's called Winner Game, and it's completely free. Check it out at the link below. It's an in-depth dive into my philosophy of inner game, which is practical, actionable, not mental masturbation inner game. Check it out, Winner Game, down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.